Hello, dragon trainers. You have stumbled upon Raising Dragons with Mama Swan. If you are not into cussing, then this might not be a podcast for you. No harm, no foul. You've been warned. I'd like to start by reminding you that no one knows what they are doing, so stop stressing about it. The stress gets in the way of problem solving, and problem solving is your key to success with raising dragons. The fact you are listening to this show tells me that you already care about how you are doing training your dragons. So we're in this together. I don't hold any ultimate answers. I can't even pretend to know what your dimension is compared to mine. It's going to be different no matter what. So these are just ideas and experience talking here. Okay, let's talk about the average day of a dragon trainer. All right, obviously first we wake up. Pull yourself together. Then wake up the dragons. Then you got to feed the dragons, and if you're lucky, you get fed too. Then we send the dragons to school. Then we go to work for 8 hours at an underpaid vocation. Then we get to go home and sit in our car and stare at our home. Then we go inside and immediately have every dragon in the house ask for food. Then we usually get annoyed with the adult human in charge for not giving dragons a snack after school. Followed by the co-dragon trainer explaining that they did feed the dragons after school. Next, we got to figure out dinner. Then you got to run to the grocery store because the dragons ate everything but the vegetables, which have now gone bad. Then, of course, you gather and purchase the food, including vegetables. Make dinner late. Start dragon bedtime routine multiple times. Then the dragons finally fall asleep. At this point in the day, the dragon trainer is often too exhausted to invest in any hobbies, unless it is sitting in front of a favorite TV show or playing some video games, which is where they usually connect with avoidant trainers who seem to know everything about dragon training and the government. Or the dragon trainer will collapse any old place and fall asleep. Repeat, likely with many interruptions. Not all dragon trainers are good at training, and this never-ending cycle of days can be part of the hang-up on why that is. Or the only thing maintaining sanity. Probably both. Something that is often not talked about or acknowledged is dragon trainer burnout. It really needs to be recognized as early as possible, but most often is not. If you were hoping for simple solutions, the longer burnout is ignored, the more elaborate the solutions need to be. Like, you could have a cup of tea every afternoon, but then as the burnout continues, suddenly you need a whole vacation, which requires expensive dragon sitters, or worse, your mother-in-law who your dragon just loves telling secrets to. The more uncomfortable the secret, the better. Either way, you're going to be paying way more if you don't make time for yourself. Burnout affects your decision-making because now you're making decisions under stress instead of being able to take the time to research or talk to people in your life to help you make better decisions. And unfortunately, when you get to this stage, that's normally when your dragon starts acting out. This is actually a natural reaction. Evolution has built it into dragons because we are community-based beings, both humans and dragons. So this is their way of announcing to the community, we need help. Not everything is going well. In my dimension, our modern society, we've lost common knowledge of this dragon nature, and it's become a really complex problem as it doesn't get the response it was originally intended for. This can lead to a lot of different breaking points if we leave it unattended. At its best, a breaking point looks like the whole cave running away to join wolf packs.
But if there's one thing you know about wolf packs is that they do not need fire breathers, and this can upset entire civilizations. So that's part of why we're so involved in dragons, because if any other creature is raising dragons, it is total chaos. Like, yes, if a dragon is raised by Canadian geese, it will learn to fly, and we humans are notorious for not allowing dragons to fly. But they are fire breathers, so please keep that in mind. I try not to judge. But wolves and Canadian geese are definitely creatures I don't need raising dragons. I think we can all agree on that.
Thank you for listening, Dragon Trainers. That's it for the dragon training today. It is Friday, which any longtime listener, I say on episode 2 of my podcast, will know is I read on Fridays specifically. I make sure to make time. That's one of the things that I do for my own burnout. So what we're going to do is I'm going to tell you about the tea I have been drinking while the recording of this podcast has been going on, and spill the tea on the books that I read today, except not literally, because I cherish books and I don't want tea on them. So I've been drinking yogi tea, and they are not a sponsor, so don't go rushing to the store or anything. I don't care what you do. But I wanted to share what my tea bag says, because it's just fun while doing episode 2 of my podcast. It says, "The one who listens understands." That's fun. Okay, so the books I've been reading. I have been reading one by one each of the herbs in a Handbook of Native American Herbs by Alma R. Hutchins. And today I read about the Beth root, which this isn't interesting to me in particular, but I do have interest in getting better with herbs in general, because there's so many things that I don't want to go to the doctor for, because I don't gotta tell you, you know if you know. So the thing I found interesting about the Beth root is that it is sometimes used for diabetes, which ran in the last generation of my family. So I am definitely interested in anything that would help that as I get older, if anything like that comes up. And I read more than one book. The other one I read today, okay, don't think that, I read a chapter. Let's be real here. I read 101 essays that will change the way you think. I saw this book on the Libby app, which is through the libraries, if you didn't know. And I started listening to it, and I had to keep stopping to be like, oh my God, what? So today's chapter was called "The Happier You Are with a Decision, the Less You Need Other People to Be, and 11 Other Things Truly Fulfilled People Know." And I'm just going to share one part of that. Okay, this was number 10. "Even when you justify your judgment of people by how right you are, you're still wrong," which I think really goes with the theme of this podcast. "It doesn't matter how awful someone is being or how correct you are in your takedown of their mental, emotional state. You're still wrong for doing it. It's not your job to police for the universe. It's your job to take care of why you feel more comfortable attacking assumptions you make about others rather than the assumptions you fear they're making about you." Oh my God, this book every freaking time. All right, and there's one more book, and then I'm going to go. I've been reading Geoffrey Chaucer, The Canterbury Tales, which is I guess one of the very first novels, if not just early novels. And I'm at this point where I'm reading the notes because I didn't bother with that as I was reading through it. I've already read it. So my favorite note that I went over today was he used the phrase, "Oh, serpent masked in femininity," which I knew what that meant right away, but reading the note was interesting. It says, "Medieval poets and illuminators constantly represent Satan in Eden as a snake with a woman's face. This was perhaps because the serpent in Eden was a fallen angel, and being an angel had long hair, and having long hair looked like a woman." I don't think it ever occurred to me that
the 14th century people would care that much about hair. I know, like, that's totally a thing in a lot of... Oh, shit. That's the dragon alarm. I gotta go. Message me any questions. Let me know what you think of the podcast. Oh, man, I really gotta go. Bye.